Hello fellow hobbyists and YouTubers, it's the Eye. Today I'd like to make a video on lighting your RC vehicles. There's lots of different ways to do it. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do it. It's all personal preference. I like to do it because I think it looks cool. Personalizes the vehicle a little bit and seems to draw non-RC people in, and we want to try and draw as many people into our hobby as possible, right? Okay. Then there's super easy ways to do it and still make it look really good. Like I did on this little guy here. This is my RC10. I just took some little light buckets and they're super easy to install. I just took my reamer, reamed a hole in the body, right where the fake ones were. And for this one it's a little curved on the outside, so I took a piece of vacuum hose and I cut it at an angle. The angle that I thought this was, and one piece on the outside, one piece on the inside. I just clamped it all together, squished it nice and tight. Then your lights just push right into the back, just like that. And then to hook it up, just plug it into your receiver. I'll show you. I just have mine plugged right into the third channel. And then I just have it taped on the inside of the body. Nice and simple. There we go. And then if you have a vehicle with a cage, like an axial wraith or a 1/5 with a cage, and I wanted to put some lights on it. So I took some insulated cable clamps, look like that. I don't know if you can see that, if there's hardcore glare on it. About $1.50, I think, from Home Depot. And then I simply just pop it on the bar. And then these lights are just meant to have a nub that pops through the body. And then just a body pin on the back. And they're mounted. It's just wired directly into the receiver. I just have it going down into the receiver box, directly into the receiver. I found you could use these to mount other stuff. On the bottom of this Thunder Tiger here, Jackal. I don't know if you could see that, but I just used, let's see if I can hold it still, one of these little guys. Same thing, just smaller. And I put some vacuum hose in there. I just screwed the bottom of my antenna and my fuel tank, and they just kind of sit in there, just like that. Last one I want to show you is my crawler. I hooked up the lights two different ways with the crawler. There's lights in the bumpers, front and rear, and I just hooked those directly into the receiver box like I did the first two. I just ran it along the rail with the wires to the winch. And then on the body itself, you can get lights that have 9-volt hookups. And that way you can just hook it up. Stick it in there. Got your lights. Stick it in there and you got your lights. This is a old servo box, by the way. I just painted it, tatted it up with some stickers. And then that way you can take your body on and off if you need to and not have to worry about unplugging and plugging the lights back in. I like that quite a bit. Some vehicles it's not necessary, like on the 1/5, because you're not going to be taking that cage on and off all the time. It's basically part of the chassis. So the vehicle that I want to light up is going to be this Kyosho Blizzard. It's my first Kyosho. Just bought it off of Craigslist, used. And most of the stuff that I'm going to be doing with this body is going to be universal to most vehicles. Show you what I want to do with it, starting from the front to back. On the front, I'd like to put some headlights right here. I was thinking about going the same little method like that. Then I found these guys right here. They'll sit flush on the body like that. Put them right there. They have a piece. These particular ones have a piece that screws onto the back and it squishes the body right in that seam there. So they'll mount up nice and neat up in there. And then on the top of the cab, it's got these lenses already in here. I'm going to try and unscrew them off there and see if I can't figure out how to mount up some lights up in there. And then we got this little guy on top. I bought this guy to replace it, so it actually works. Looks like it should fit in there, hopefully almost perfectly. Then on the back here, I noticed there's some fake light stickers. I was looking at these little bitty guys that matched the front ones to stick in there. They'd mount flush in there like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. But then I found these guys in my boat box. I was going to use these for the tug, but I think I might mount these guys right here. We'll see. I think it'll be cool. It'll be nice and bright. Nice and bright. And then on the bed here, I want to put this roof rack on it. And I mounted a winch, little electric winch to the light bar here. Then I'd like to put this little light right here. Just like that. Boom. Because one won't fit on the other side. Nothing will fit on the other side, so I'm just going to put one on this side. Boom. And then I'm going to run the lights for the light and the winch. I already reamed a hole and put a little grommet. You can get these grommets at any auto parts store. Cleans it up a little bit. Makes it disappear a little bit. And then on the very back, got these little bitty guys. I'm going to try and put those right there for some tail lights on either side. I think that'd look pretty slick. So, quite a bit of lighting. I'm going to put a few other little accessories on there as well when I'm done. But I'm going to walk you through the process of how I do it. It's not necessarily the right way. It's just how I'm gonna do it to this guy. So, we'll start with the front. What I did was carve up a template, or cut out a template for the lights, and then marked it on here on both sides. Boom, boom, and now I just need to cut them out. So let's start cutting. Oh, awesome. Look at that. There is already a notch in there for a bulb. Perfect. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, guys, let me show you what I got going on here. The roof is tapered down a little bit, and the bottom of this original light is tapered to match, so it sits in there and sits nice and straight up and down. And if I would mount this directly to the body, it would be sitting in there all leaning back and sunk down in there. So what I'm going to do is I made this little piece to glue in here. And I'm just going to mount it directly to it, and it should sit in there nice and level, and how it should. Alright everybody, this is what I got going on. Most light buckets come with some sort of way to mount a bulb into the back of them. The light bucket set that I got did not come with anything to mount lights into them. So this is what I came up with. Just some Lexan. Cut a notch into it. Give it a little screw. And then the bulb can just slide right in there. This goes on the inside of the body. This comes on the outside, and it just all screws together. Oh, nice and neat. I decided to go with this lighting kit. I got this kit online for about 10 bucks. I believe it's for a show car. It just either has all the lights on or it does a couple different flashing modes, which is fine for what I'm doing. I decided to do this because I started piecing together other lights sets, like these 4 for the rear, do these 4 for the front, and you start getting all these plugs. I don't have room to plug all those in, and I know you can get Y cables and stuff like that, which I actually have some. But this particular kit comes with 12 lights, 6 white and 6 color. The 6 white are the 5mm and the 6 color are the 3mm, which is going to work pretty much perfect for what I want to use them for. The light bucket set that I got, the 2 on the front and the 4 on the rear, they're all 3mm. I'm going to go red on top, orange on bottom, blue on the fog lights up front. And then I got 2 of the 5mm up here, which it was already made for, and 2 5mm in the headlights here. One is a dome light inside, and I already have one installed on the fog light in the rack in back, the white 5mm. The light kit I got came with this little set button. What it does is it cycles through the different flashing modes. And I didn't want it dangling underneath the body, and I didn't want to have to take the body on and off to be able to access it. So what I'm going to do is I have this little chest that I'm mounting in the rack here, and I drilled a hole in the bottom. And I'm just going to run it through and run the wire with the winch and the light through the bed here in this hole. It'll be hidden, convenient, and accessible, and I won't have to take the body on and off. So that's what I came up with for that. The lights that I'm going to put on the back here also came with their own manual switch to turn them on and off. Originally I was going to just cut them out of the system and leave it. But I think it'd be nice to turn them on and off. They're pretty bright. I don't think they need to be on all the time. So I'm cutting both of them apart, putting this button with the other one in the trunk. I'm going to run all the wires through the body, solder it all back together as one unit, plug it in, and be done. I was looking for something to use as a dome light, and I found these little sheaths that come on plugs. I figured I'd just try and mount it up in the top here. So I'm gonna taper off the back so it fits up snug up against there, and I'm just gonna cut a slit in the bottom so my bulb slides in there. And hopefully that'll be good enough. Okay, everybody, here's what we got. I have one line coming out of the lighting unit itself. I have one line going directly to the 2 lights on the back here. And I have those 2 plugged into a Y cable. Makes it a single. And then I have that single plugged into a switch, which enables me to turn it on and off with the controller. Just plug it into that. Stuff it all in here. Get the body back on. Okay, here we go. Turn it on. There we go. We've got our headlights, our fog lights, our overhead lights. Got our emergency beacon kicking up here. Got our tail lights. I put the tail lights on the cab because I looked up some real ones online, and a lot of them had the lights on the cab. I'm assuming because they have graders and stuff like that hanging off the back end that would cover them. I got my little KC light on the rack back here. Got a dome light kicking for Boba in there. And for the back lights here, like I said I was going to, I put the switch in the trunk here. Turn them on and off. And then the switch for the different flashing modes for your show car or emergency vehicle. Took me roughly 17 hours or so, over 3 weeks, to do the lighting. It's not perfect. Not everything's lined up or straight. I think it turned out pretty good though. I like it. I'm pretty stoked. Just got to be patient. Take your time. If you start getting frustrated, walk away. Hopefully I gave you at least one good idea or brainstorm or something for your next project. I like it when people do stuff like that for us, so try to contribute once in a while. Thank you very much for watching. Happy building. We'll catch you next time.